Welcome. Here I'm going to demonstrate the running of the first Moe-Joe on the right here, and then I'll stop this video and I'll do a video of running this Moe-Joe. Now here's the steel, an example of the steel that I have inside of the Moe-Joe. I have a 5-inch, 4-inch, 3-inch, and a 2-inch on this Moe-Joe. On this Moe-Joe, I only have a 4-inch, a 3-inch, and a 2-inch, which has proven to be sufficient, amazingly. And also, what I like about this Moe-Joe is that there's absolutely no magnetism on the steel or any of the parts that I'm using. For instance, if I show you the 5-inch here, you see that? Look at that. Look at that. I'll go closer. Boom. Very, very magnetic. It doesn't seem to alter the productivity though, and the excellent stage 3 results that I'm getting with this Moe-Joe, which does have magnetism on it. But let's look again here. No magnetism. Ever so slight. It just comes towards, and then ever so slight. But inside of here, I got some special 316 made up. And this supplier should be able to provide the 5 inches as well, so I'll go to that. Now here I have a setup of a variable power supply which can provide between 0 to 130 volts. Here I have a little makeshift orgonite thing to neutralize some of these negative radiations coming off. Coming off AC into a bridge rectifier, converting to DC, and then I have a capacitor for filtering out that negative, smoothing out the frequency there. Okay, so here I'm going to take off the lid of this aluminum lid, and you'll see that this hasn't been charged for some time. Now it's not sealed, the aluminum's not sealed, it's just a cover, but it somehow keeps these bubbles nicely on the surface. You see some of them popping now. But these bubbles have been here for a while, and they will stay for several days. Not all of them, but in several days you see these little bubbles, minute bubbles, and the surface tension of the water. See that? Amazing surface tension there. Excellent surface tension. So I'm going to apply the... let's just check that the switch is off. Yes, it is. I don't want to electrocute myself. I'm going to apply the positive. Now, what's really cool is I'm applying 63 volts with a variable power supply. I can get exactly 1 amp. I'm about to switch it on. Here she goes. Not wanting to... oh, there we go. There we go. A little bit of a delay there. I don't know why that happened. Maybe some of the experts can explain that. Hey, Albert, what do you think? Why was there a delay there? We're not sure. We're not sure, says Albert. Okay, so look at that. I'm getting basically 1 amp, if you round it up. And as this is charging, you see the little bubbles coming out. Now one thing, as this is charging, I'll just let it charge for a bit. I want to give a little commentary about the Moe-Joe. If you look at this Moe-Joe, it's a sphere perfectly surrounding. So this would be the 4-inch, basically like this. Right there, right there, perfectly surrounding. It's completely sealed except for a hole in the bottom and the top for circulation and air bubbles, and the inside the 3-inch is also perfectly sealed, and the 2-inch as well. It's perfectly sealed on the inside. So what's happening is, because it's perfectly sealed, I'm not having any loss of magnetic field. The positive male energy is able to perfectly encirculate the inner sphere for a perfect neutralization or balancing of the negative and the positive, to make the extra energy, which is a balance of both of those two. Whereas in my Joe cell here, if I take a look at my Joe cell, look at that. All of this space here is lost magnetic field. And one could say that the shape of a tube being surrounded is much less efficient towards creating the alchemies or the balances, the neutralization of what we're looking for in this Joe cell technology, the celery. Now here I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and you can see the bubbles starting to form. Now these bubbles are the pay dirt bubbles. These are the bubbles that we're looking for. They are small, they are plentiful, they have a kind of a soapy quality to them. They're building up. If I let this run for a little longer, this whole surface, you see there's almost cloud-like tiny little bubbles forming around here. If I let this run for a couple more minutes, the whole surface would be filled with bubbles. So this is the Moe-Joe functioning, and I would call this a stage 3 Moe-Joe cell, because with my experience with the Joe cell, these bubbles are really powerful bubbles, and the energetic feeling in this room right now is just tremendous with this perfect surrounding of the 5-inch, the 4-inch, 3-inch, and 2-inch. And having no magnetism inside. The feeling is very strong. Even though this Moe-Joe, as you can see, there's bubbles still there. They've been there for a while. I haven't charged this for a while, several hours. Even though it has magnetism in the steel, it still gets great results in terms of the bubbles, but the feeling, the energetic feeling in the air is not quite the same. Now you see even greater buildup of bubbles here. So very happy with these results, and I look forward to plugging into a motor vehicle. For more information on how to build, how I set up the Moe-Joe, go to thelast4books.com/Joe_cell.